What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm still in the early access event. There's about 20 minutes left before I get cut off. Again, thank you to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me and for, allowing me to take part in this amazing event. It's been freaking fantastic. Everything was completely flawless, and the set so far has been chef's kiss. But because we don't have much time, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Azorius Tempo Soldiers. Again, version 1, very early version. There still needs to be some work done here. I don't know if blue is the best, if Jeskai is the best. Should I be going this heavy on the creatures and only just 2 Valorous Stances, or should we go a little bit more heavy on some interaction of some way, shape, or form? But this is what I've settled on for now on this, version 1. And of course, we'll be tailoring and adjusting and fine-tuning and continuing to refine all of these archetypes as the meta adapts and adjusts and so on and so forth. So taking it from the top, we've got a fantastic new 1-drop for this tribe, Human Soldier. It's a 1 mana 2/1, which has just always been good. But this has the added upside that you can, without even needing to tap it, so you can attack with it. And as long as you've got the 4 mana open, you can do this during the opponent's turn, whatever. You pay 4, 3 and a white. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them, which is pretty much everything in the deck, and put it into your hand. And the chances of whiffing with this are very low. Then we've got some flashy things, because it's trying to be some kind of a tempo deck. We've got Cathar Commando with Flash, which happens to also be a soldier, and is a good way of dealing with artifacts and enchantments, of which there are many, obviously. We've also got 3 Resolute Reinforcements, which also have Flash, and makes 2 soldier bodies, which is relevant, as you'll see going on. Of course, we're playing a full playset of the Valiant Veteran because it is our Anthem effect. There is another one that's a 4-drop, which we're going to toy with at some point. If you go like these, and like these, and like these, and I don't have it even crafted, it's an uncommon. We've got Yoshin Tactician, which also gives other soldiers +1/+1. So maybe just cut Mirror altogether and just put another Anthem effect here on the top end. We'll find out in the coming weeks, but for now we're going with just the 1 Anthem effect in the Valiant Veteran. Gives all of our soldiers +1/+1, and then if it gets killed, you can exile it from your yard for 5 mana and put +1/+1 counter on each other soldier you control. So pretty nice. It still continues to provide value from the yard. And 2 Valorous Stances to deal with some big creatures and occasionally give one of our guys indestructible. Then we've gone with 4 Protect the Negotiations. Like, probably, I think, the good reason to be splashing blue in Soldier Tribal, in what is essentially mostly white stuff, because it's a counterspell. Tempo decks, you want a counterspell, and this one obviously fits the deck perfectly, because if you kick it, so 3 mana, which is kind of normal counterspell costs, you get a 1/1 soldier, and then the opponent needs to pay 1 colorless for each creature you control. So if you've gone nice and wide with your little soldiers, they often can't get around it, and it's a nice little counterspell that also increases your board state. I've been loving it. Then we've got 1 Zephyr Sentinel, just kind of testing this one out. It's obviously quite good, but Harbin is also really good. I swear I've been struggling, because it's again Flash, and that's great, and it's a flyer. It's amazing. You can save your creatures with it. Opponent targets your creature, you flash in Zephyr Sentinel, you bounce target creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was a soldier, you put a +1/+1 counter on Zephyr Sentinel. So you're bouncing your thing, and you're left with a 3/2 flyer. And then you untap, swing in for 3, replay, maybe they're targeting your Valiant Veteran, you bounce it, you put a thing, you replay your Valiant Veteran, now you've got a 4/3, in the air. It's really not terrible. So maybe cut Muriel altogether. She's been a bit slow. Let's see, maybe even the Siege Veteran. It's not as good as Luminarch Aspirant, but I don't know. Like I said, plenty to still iron out. But we don't have time, so I gotta hurry up. Harbin, the Vanguard Aviator, another really good reason to be splashing blue. He's a soldier, of course. He's got flying, great. Whenever he attacks with 5 or more soldiers, you get they all get +1/+1 and gain flying. So you can just swing with him and 4 others. All your land soldiers just go whoop, flying, +1/+1. Really powerful if you can get it to go off. It's obviously really nice with these flash things, because you can add to the board during the opponent's step and turn and get to that 5 quickly. Then we've got Brutal Cathar, some additional removal alongside our Valorous Stance. It's also a soldier. Just remember, when it flips to nighttime, it becomes a werewolf, so you can now no longer get the buff from the Valiant Veteran, but it's just obviously fantastic. Siege Veteran puts a +1/+1 counter. It's the new Luminarch aspirant at home, but is it? I mean, maybe it's even better. Play it out on turn 3. Start putting counters around, and then whenever one of your non-token soldiers dies, you get a replacement token in these little construct looking robot guys. Pretty nice. And then your card draw engine. This guy is amazing. Skystrike Officer, 2/3 flyer for 3 mana, and whenever it attacks, it makes a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact. So other way of pumping out these little soldiers, and then you can tap 3 of them without needing mana, without him needing to tap. You can just do this for however many untapped soldiers. I really like kind of declaring blockers that are going to die anyway and then getting to draw cards off of them, because you tap 3 soldiers, draw a card. You can sometimes draw 2 cards during the opponent's end step plus your card draw. It's actually a ridiculous amount of card value, card advantage if you get to keep him on the board for a couple turns. And we top out with Miral, testing her out as well. On paper looks amazing. In the deck, don't know where. Maybe it doesn't really fit here, and it's better suited into some kind of prison deck with this static ability. Opponent can't cast spells, activated abilities, or artifacts, creatures, or enchantments during your turn. It's a pretty nice way of sort of stalling certain types of removal and things. And then when she does get to attack, you create X 1/1 soldiers for each other soldier you control. So, you know, if you've gone wide and then you get to swing at least once with Miral, you go super wide. And that could be pretty game-ending stuff. That's the deck. As far as the mana base goes, we get to play the Secluded Courtyard because we are a tribal deck. We've got 1 Mishra's Foundry, 1 Demolition Field, 4 Fortified Beachheads. The one tribe that got its own land in the whole set is soldiers, and it's Azorius, so that's kind of what prompted this whole brew, actually, was this land. As long as you've got a soldier in hand or on the battlefield, you can play it untapped, and then you can pay 5 to give all your soldiers +1/+1 until end of turn. Little anthem effect might be like the thing that gets you through for that final bit of damage. Then 4 Adarkar Wastes, 1 Otawara, 1 Eiganjo, 6 plains, and 1 island. Let's jump into some games. See how the deck performs. Hopefully they don't kick me out of the event before we get a few good matches in, because it really is getting to the end of it. It's good while it lasted. It's good fun. Really good fun. Again, thanks Wizards, man. So stoked with these. I hope they keep doing them. Sure. Hope it's not Azorius control and it's a mirror match. That would be much funner. Yeah, it's a mirror. Let's see who can win this one. I haven't played a mirror like this yet. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay, so I got Brutal Cathar, which gives me a bit of an edge. Nice. I think we try for the Harbin. Play him, flash in Cathar Commando next during his turn, and then try and attack. Talia number 2. Okay, ready to do some damage next turn. Oh, please let me get this off straight away as we get into game 1. Some of these... Okay. Yeah, some of these guys are playing... Oh! 15 minutes left! Ooh. It's a static effect, so like... Any creatures... He's gonna go for the swing, I think. No? Nice. I think we just go for it, see what happens. Woo! Woo! Crowd goes wild. Amazing. So now that I've reread this properly, whenever you attack with 5 or more, it doesn't have to be with him. So if you can get, 5 creatures and then just play him and attack with those, they'll still get the flying and the buff. Very nice. Very, very nice. Didn't get to see our 3-drop flyer guy there. We've got 15 minutes left. Oh... Probably closer to 13 at this point. Maybe we can get 2 more matches in. Oh, come on, don't make it long. I'm sure, not everybody, but most of us who got invited are trying our best to get a last couple of games in before we don't get to play with these beautiful new cards for another 3-4 days. So it's the 11th as I'm recording this. 4 days. But it's the end of the 11th for me. But I also only get the new cards on the end of the 15th because of my time zone. So... Oh. Yes. Lord Kaiju the second. Sure. We got our counter spell, but we don't have a blue mana. Is this going to be another mirror, or is it going to be the control deck? Oh gosh. I think in case there's counter magic, we just get in there now. Draws a card. This card's nice. Oh, we can draw a card. This card is really nice. Draws a card. Double strike. The full cost is a bit much. 7 mana for a 3/3, which is why it's uncommon. Oh. 2, 3, 4. One more turn before we can use the Harbin properly. So hopefully we draw a white source. I mean a blue source. Then we can flash in the Commando. Fine.
Second there. Who's counting?
Draw a card. Oh, blue, huh? Make another soldier. We're looking good. I wish we'd drawn blue now. Celestus. That gives him 1, 2, 3, 4 mana potentially. So he could even tap a land now. So 5 mana potentially. If he wanted to, but I guess he doesn't have anything else to follow that up with, which is nice. Okay, no, maybe not. So like I said, tapping the land as well. And then untapping everything with the Teferi. Okay, never mind. I don't know if I want to use the Commando here to kill something. It's still 5 creatures attacking next turn.
Give me a moment. Or a few.
It's got 2 mana open. There's the blue source. All right, let's do this. Flying. Whoo, that feels so spectacular. Now we can counter anything. He needs to pay 1, 2, you know, too much. Cool. This is going to see a lot of play. I've got a deck lined up with this. I kind of thought of that as soon as I started seeing these prototypes. It's ideal. The ones that don't say if you cast it, you can just reset them, you know, get them for their full amount just by planar incisioning them. Let's kick. Ladies and gentlemen, Soldier tempo going off. Game number 2. How much time? Okay, I'm about to get kicked out, guys. I think that's going to have to be it for this one. Short and sweet. 5 minutes. Let's just leave it at that, I'm afraid. I don't want to risk it and get cut off. I'd rather jump back into the deck and give you some final thoughts. And close the stream properly. As you saw, Mirel, like, it almost never comes into play. I'm thinking it's not really worth it. You could even cut 1 more land, cut 2 more Mirals, and have 3 additional spots, put in more Zephyr Sentinels. Or there's another 1 mana soldier that's got Unearth that gives another attacker +1/+1. Could be a good idea. Maybe put in some Guardians of New Benalia. I don't know. There's so many soldiers that I still haven't even scratched the surface of what is going to be possible. Don't forget, Danix a soldier. We've even got the 5-drop flash guy that we may even play instead of Mirel. It's wide open and I cannot wait to solve it. But that is going to be it for this particular video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be seeing you all tomorrow, probably with another fresh brew, or if I'm bored of current standard without the early access cards, then we'll probably do some top 10 lists and things like that. So stay tuned. But yeah, until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.